The law of attraction is a spiritual concept from the New Thought movement, asserting that positive or negative thoughts manifest into corresponding experiences in a person's life. This belief stems from the idea that individuals and their thoughts are composed of pure energy, and similar energies attract each other, allowing individuals to enhance their health, wealth, and personal relationships despite its popularity. There is no scientific proof supporting the law of attraction, and it is typically seen as pseudoscience. Advocates usually combine cognitive reframing methods with affirmations and creative visualization to transition from destructive negative thoughts to empowering, adaptive positive thoughts. A crucial part of this philosophy is the belief that to effectively reprogram negative thinking patterns, one must feel through creative visualization that the desired changes have already taken place. This blend of positive thinking and positive emotion is thought to enable one to attract good experiences and opportunities by aligning with the proposed energetic law. While some law of attraction proponents refer to scientific theories to support it, it has no proven scientific basis. Many researchers have condemned the misuse of scientific principles by its followers. The origin of the New Thought movement can be traced back to the teachings of Phineas Quimby in the early 19th century. Quimby was diagnosed with a then incurable disease, tuberculosis, early in his life. His experience of relief from pain through exhilarating horse riding inspired him to study mind over body. Although he never specifically mentioned the law of attraction, he encapsulated its essence regarding health through his teachings. The mind dictates the body's condition, and any negative influences on the mind can manifest physically. The term law of attraction first appeared in The Great Harmonia, written by American spiritualist Andrew Jackson Davis in 1855. Also, Prentice Mulford, a key figure in the New Thought ideology, elaborated on this law in his essay The Law of Success in 1886. Other New Thought writers like Henry Wood and Ralph Waldo Trine continued to discuss the law of attraction in depth, believing it to apply not just to health, but to all areas of life. In 2006, the law of attraction, a theory proposing that we can attract what we think or desire, was reinvigorated and popularized through The Secret, a movie that was later transformed into a book. This theory was further explored in the sequel, The Power, in 2010, stressing that the law of attraction is essentially a law of love. The modern adaptation of this theory is often referred to as manifestation, a blend of positive thinking, visualization tactics, and active individual efforts to bring about desired outcomes. Supporters of this theory argue that the law of attraction is a universal principle that delivers experiences and conditions which align with one's predominant thoughts, desires, and expectations. One of the primary advocates of this theory, Rhonda Byrne, in her 2006 documentary, The Secret, underscored the importance of not only imagining the desired outcome, but also infusing it with powerful emotions for the manifestation to work. Other influential works sharing similar themes include James Redfield's The Celestine Prophecy, Joseph Murphy's The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. While some have criticized The Secret and the law of attraction as pseudoscience, others have shared their personal experiences validating these self-help strategies. The root of the law of attraction, as part of the New Thought movement, can be traced back to various philosophical and religious teachings, such as Hermeticism, New England Transcendentalism, certain Bible verse interpretations, and Hinduism. The European Renaissance saw a widespread influence of Hermeticism, with its ideas flowing through alchemy. The 18th century physician Franz Mesmer, who studied the works of renowned alchemists like Paracelsus and Van Helmont, developed his concepts of animal magnetism. This subsequently influenced Phineas Quimby, the founder of New Thought. New Thought was also significantly impacted by the Transcendentalist movement in the U.S., particularly the idea of the supremacy of mind over matter, as stated by George Ripley, a key figure in Transcendentalism. The law of attraction, a concept popularized in the early 2000s by the film and book The Secret, contends that one can attract anything with sustained thinking. This theory has, however, faced significant criticism for its lack of scientific grounding. Critics argue it not only misrepresents modern scientific theories, but also paves the way for victim blaming by suggesting that misfortune is a result of one's thoughts, despite claims of it being bolstered by quantum mysticism. Scientists critique such notions as manifestations of modern pseudoscience. The Secret, and thus the law of attraction, endorses the idea that positivity directly impacts oneself. However, there are arguments that this viewpoint can mislead individuals into disregarding the value of hard work, resilience, and perseverance. For instance, it is critiqued for oversimplifying the notion of positivity leading to success and happiness, similar to the ideal of self-esteem-based education in the 1970s. Tracing back to the late 19th and early 20th century, authors such as Prentice Mulford, Ralph Waldo Trine, James Allen, and Thomas Troward contributed to the early development of this thought movement. Even so, critics continue to question the plausibility of thoughts influencing anything beyond the mind later. Writer Emmett Fox discussed metaphysics and the power of prayer, attributing the origin of these teachings to the teachings of Jesus Christ. However, the law of attraction's validity remains a contentious topic, with skeptics arguing that the theory is unmeasurable, untestable, and prone to confirmation and selection bias. In the early 20th century, Bruce McClelland published a book, Prosperity Through Thought Force, setting the groundworks for the prosperity theology and focusing on the principle: your reality is determined by your thoughts, not by your perception of self. Following this, in 1910, Wallace D. Wattles shared a similar viewpoint in his book, The Science of Getting Rich. It conveyed the concept of positive thinking leading to the fulfillment of desires. However, he also emphasized that negative thinking will yield negative outcomes. This concept was further added to in 1915 by theosophical author William Quan Judge, and later in 1919 by Annie Besant, another theosophical author who likened this theory to the law of gravity and its connection to karma. Much later, in 1928 and 1937, Napoleon Hill published two influential books. In both, he heavily referenced the law of attraction and introduced the idea of radio waves being emitted by the brain, playing significant roles in the attraction process. This was followed by works of Israel Regardie, who emphasized on the law of attraction as a tool for physical health and overall life improvement. By 1944, Neville Goddard released three highly impactful books focusing on the use of creative visualization and emotional feeling for manifestation. Later in 1960, a collaboration between Clement Stone and Napoleon Hill brought success through a positive mental attitude, reinforcing the importance of positivity. In 1988, Richard Weiss touched on the principle of non-resistance as a popular New Thought movement concept in the American myth of success. Eventually, in 2008, the book Money and the Law of Attraction, Learning to Attract Health, Wealth, Happiness by Esther and Jerry Hicks made it to the New York Times bestseller list, making the law of attraction a mainstream concept. The undulating thread throughout this unfolding history remains the power and significance of one's thoughts and their ability to either construct or destruct one's reality.